2-2 in the American. Tulane was in action at Navy on Saturday. Navy won the game 41-38. Tulane back at home this Saturday. They'll be facing Tulsa at Ullman Stadium, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central on ESPN2. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call. Just get your thoughts on the game at Navy, please, and what you expect to see as you're back at home to face the Golden Hurricane.
Well, we had a tough game against Navy. We didn't start off very well. We were down 31-14 at half. Really proud of the effort, from the players in the second half, and battle all the way back to make it 38-38, and they drove down the field. Credit them. They hit a long field goal at the buzzer to come away with the win. So it's good, some good things to take away, but, one of the another thing we need to take away is just doing a better job of coming out of the block fast and playing better and not making critical mistakes. It puts you in that kind of situation where you got to come back from that far of a deficit. This week we're at home, homecoming. We've got Tulsa. Got a lot of respect for Coach Montgomery and what he's done over there. They are playing really well. They played a tough schedule, maybe the toughest in our conference. And then, I had a game, missed a chip shot field goal to win last week against Memphis at the end of the game. I know it's going to be a tough, hard-nosed competition between the two squads. We're both, coming off tough losses, but it'll be a great ball game. And offensively, they've got a lot of firepower on the offensive side of the ball. Big team. This is one of the bigger teams that we've played. I've been really surprised at how many big guys he's got on both the offensive and defensive line. So look forward to the game on Saturday.
We'll take questions for Coach Willie Fritz, please. *1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue.
We'll hear from Dan Tortora with WakeUpCallDT.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. I know that the team is one win away from bowl eligibility, and I know that that's not obviously the only thing on the docket for you, but just what you could say about where the team's at this season, maybe some thoughts on, how you would describe or define this year's squad as you step into these last few games of the regular season.
Oh, we've been a little bit up and down. We've played really well at times and looked like a team that could compete with anybody in the country. And there's other times we haven't played as well as what we're capable of playing. Played a tough schedule, just like a lot of teams in our conference have. So just need to get back to work and keep working on continual improvement. And have another, very tough foe this weekend in Tulsa. And,
looking at the west side of the American Athletic, just what you can say about all of the, competition that's there. I mean, obviously at this point with Memphis and SMU facing off against each other, that'll have implications. Navy is in good footing. And, a team like Tulsa going up against you, Tulsa's been in a bunch of these games and just hasn't been able to close them out, but have competed with the teams, with the Cincinnatis and the SMUs and whatnot. So just what your takeaways have been in the West, and then secondly, focusing on Tulsa, just what Philip Montgomery is doing there and maybe what the record doesn't show with Tulsa.
No, I think you're right about the record not showing it. They played a tough schedule. They really have. And they've, as you said, they've had these teams, up against the wall at till the very end of the ball game. And unfortunately for them, haven't come away with the win. So we know how good they are, and they certainly proved that last week against Memphis. And everybody in the West, it's a very tough division. I saw the other day where it was ranked pretty highly as far as all the divisions in Division I football, and deservedly so. It's a lot of great coaches and players, and you got to be ready, strapping on every week.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Gary Smith with the New Orleans Advocate has our next question.
Hi, Willie. Obviously the Navy game could have gone either way, and you would have been in great position in the AAC West if you would have won that game. Kind of a gut punch to lose it the way you did. You've always been really good at keeping guys focused on each week, but how do you make sure people aren't lingering on a game that it was right there one way or the other, and get totally focused on Tulsa?
Well, we talked about it this morning. Just we got to move on. Unfortunately, it's part of life and part of being a competitor, as a coach, as a player. And it was a tough one. There's no doubt about it. Tulsa's coming off a tough one too. So we both know how that feels. But I think when you sit around, particularly at the beginning of the week, and you sulk and pout over the outcome of a game, you're gonna have a tough time being successful when you get ready to play on Saturday. So we'll be ready to go Saturday.
After a tough first quarter, your offense really had its way with a Navy defense that had really been good against everyone they had played, did stuff against them that no other team had done. How much can you take away from that, from how well your offense played in the last three quarters?
Yeah, I thought we played good in the last three quarters, other than the throw right before halftime. We played pretty darn well offensively. But our goal is to put it together for four quarters and play well from the beginning until the end of the game. And it kind of feeds off each other, offense and defense, et cetera. And it's the same thing with the defense. So we started off slow, and they really took advantage of it. We were having a hard time slowing them down, and then we did good for about 4 or 5 series until the very end of the game when they put the drive together and scored. So. In this league, you just got to be on point, all the time from the beginning of the game till the very end of the game.
And you were down 3 running backs in that game, and just can you talk about the effort from Tyjae Spears and Cam Carroll, particularly in the second half?
Oh, I thought those guys did a super job. And I thought YG Booker came in and did well. We're really blessed with a great stable of backs. These guys are, number one, unselfish, and they're also talented. And some of those runs that Cam had during the game were, he's breaking. I think one of the runs he broke 6 tackles on, and we've known that he's an excellent football player. Now he's getting his chance to show it, and the same thing with Tyjae and YG.
Is Tyjae not going to redshirt now this year, or is that still to be determined?
Still to be determined.
Okay. Thanks, appreciate it.
You bet.
We'll now hear from Ted Lewis with the New Orleans Times-Picayune.
Hey, Willie. I know that the last couple of weeks have been very disappointing for you, but if you haven't already addressed it, could just talk about the things that are still ahead for your team, and especially the idea that you can get bowl eligible this week, whereas last year you went down to what? Was it the last play?
Yeah, just about the last play, against Navy last season to get bowl eligible. And, it's one of our goals. Tulane hasn't been to back-to-back bowl games since 1979-80 season. So it put us in rare air, to be able to do that. But, certainly we've got, bigger goals than that. And, nothing's going to happen positive for us if we don't come out and play well this Saturday against Tulsa.
Just the idea of bouncing back from those last 2 weeks. So what do you do to get your team back, in the frame of mind for, hey, we got a whole month of football left?
Well, I think we got tough kids, and I think that was shown Saturday with, being down 31-14 and coming back and coming within a whisker of winning the ball game. There's a lot of teams would have quit in that situation, especially against the ground attack. We had difficulty stopping in the first half, and then the interception for the touchdown right before halftime as well. And all the kids really, really played hard and believed on the sideline. And we're going to do, everything to prepare to the best of our ability, this week for the, homecoming game against Tulsa. And that won't be a problem for us. Our guys will be ready to go.
Good enough. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Coach, as always, thank you for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.